Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 34th episode of the Add Water and Stir podcast and the first episode of 2016. Jazz
Woo-hoo!
hands!
Jazz.
I am Mimi from the blog Complicated Melody, and I am joined by my co-host, Adopted Black Mom of the blog with the same name. Hey, ABM, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Happy New Year. It's good to be back. What's
It
up,
is good to
Mimi?
be. I missed you, girl. I
I
missed our
missed you
podcast.
too. I missed you too. We took a little bit longer break than, well, we didn't even talk about taking a break, but we just kind of took one.
Sorry, y'all. But we are back.
Life
And
happened.
yes, it did. You are listening to the Add Water and Stir podcast, where we have candid conversations about fostering, adopting, and parenting children of color. Our goal is to give voice and visibility to families like ours who are often left out of mainstream adoption conversations. So join in the conversation as we talk about the impact of race, class, and privilege on raising healthy, well-adjusted brown and black children. So tonight we're going to discuss our parenting resolutions for 2015 and how we did on those and what we're planning for 2016. We also want to talk real quick about Kenya Moore and kinship adoption, if you're not familiar with that, from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we got some listener feedback, so we'll do a few shout outs. And of course, like we always do, we get a little crunk in the wind down portion where we talk about what's happening in pop culture. So, you ready to get started, ABM?
I'm ready to get started.
So, what's
Yes.
been going on? Like you said, Happy New Year. We haven't talked
Happy
since
New-
December. I think
I
this is
know.
that our last one, November.
No. Our last one actually happened to be the one featuring Hope.
Okay,
And Hope's
November.
voice. So that was November. So yeah, well, I mean, we got through the holidays unscathed.
Hallelujah.
No super major drama. Good family time. I have spent the last, I guess, 6, almost 7 weeks really focused on attachment parenting.
Mm.
At the behest of our family therapist and more like cracking whip of our family therapist. And, it has yielded some fruit. Things are quite a bit better, but it's just attachment parenting is very draining. It's kind of exhausting, and there are moments when I feel like it is like I really am doing the most, and I don't want to.
I don't want to do it. You sound like Nana.
I don't want to.
I
Yes,
don't
yes,
want it.
yes. And so we're kind of struggling with that. But things are good. We are batting down the hatches. We are supposed to be the bullseye of snowstorm, snowpocalypse 2016 Jonas arriving tomorrow. So I have liquor, I have carbs, and the world should be okay.
As long as you got internet, that's all. You got internet, you got food, you got wine. It's all good to me.
Listen, listen, if the internet goes out, I really just I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I did actually buy a couple of more games, and I bought one of those round kind of snow sleddy thingamajigs. They only had one left, but I bought
Oh,
it.
that's
So
cute.
so we'll go out, and Yappy likes snow. I do need to get him some, like, I need to run out tomorrow morning to go get him some balloons because all of the little doggy boots that we have tried are too big for his little feet.
So you have to put
uh,
balloons on them?
I'm gonna try balloons because we bought at one point. I bought some of these like little balloon like shoes for him, but they were too big too. So I'm just gonna go to Party City and try to make some things happen tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
just
Okay.
gonna rig it up. We're gonna see, but yeah. So it'll be an attachment weekend apparently by force, and and I told Hope that we needed a plan for both entertainment and snacking that we could both live with. So, but things are good. It's a new year, and I'm looking forward to talking about how we did on last year's resolutions and talk
Mm.
about at least what we're doing at Casa Dabian for 2016.
Okay.
How about you? What's going on with you? You got big news.
Oh, well, my family made some big changes last year. So I didn't talk about it on the blog. I didn't talk about it on the podcast because I don't know. But I decided that I was done. I'm over it. Being this, career woman and focus and everything, I kind of just need a little break. And we decided to move and downsize our life. So we moved back to my hometown and in the Midwest, moved closer to my family so we could get a little bit more help and support with raising Nana. And I quit my job. And my husband quit his job, and we just packed up and moved, and now we are living in the Midwest in the middle of the snow, so we feel what you're going through. So this is a big change for us,
Mm.
but oh my gosh, it is the right move. Sometimes you just need to make a drastic change. You kind of you come to a fork in the road and you just need to make a left or a right and just go a different way. And that's what we
Mhm.
felt like was the right thing for our family. And I'm just grateful that I have such a supportive husband who was like, okay, I can do this. I'm okay with that. And we did it. We did it 6 months ago. I think actually it was around the time I met you in DC. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I'm over it. I'm done. I want to move. I want to do something different. And 6 months later, we were able to make this happen. But what this means for us is that I'm now a stay at home mother. And so I
Ooh.
am homeschooling Nana. We're doing pre K at
Wow.
home for now. I'm giving this about till August. I'm
That's a
giving
long
it.
time, though.
I know. I think I can make it till August. So we're homeschooling. I'm doing the managing the household thing, cooking every day, cleaning, and whatever. My mother in law says she does not think this is going to last. So we'll see how it goes. But what I will say is, I'm grateful for the break. I'm grateful
Mhm.
for the break, and I'm happy that I have my family around, that I'm able to see
Aw.
them every week. And it's amazing. Like, this just, I'm so happy that we decided to make this change and went forward with it.
Woo,
So that's what's
woo.
been going on.
Good. Wow. Well, fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So as far as the blog, I know you've been writing, continuing to write, and I have not written anything since maybe June of last year. I'm not going to make any promises, but
It's not on
we'll
your
see.
resolutions.
Uh, I don't know about resolutions, but I always say I'm going to try to. I think I just need to stop talking about it and be about it.
Be
So,
about it. Well, I will say I'm not writing as frequently as I used to. I'd hope to get back to that, but life is happening. So yeah. Anyway, so why don't we transition a little bit into a recap of our resolutions for 2015? So on lots of podcasts, you'll hear people this time of year talk about their parenting resolutions. They write about them. They speak about them on podcasts. And last year, of course, we also sat down and talked a bit about what we are our hopes and dreams for 2015. So, Mimi, what were some of your hopes and dreams? And then I'll talk about mine. And we've got a whole list of things apparently that we went through last year from somebody's crazy list that we probably dug up from somewhere. And we'll see how we did.
yeah, I wouldn't mind going back through that list. Okay, so on my list for 2016, of course, health is a big one. I feel like I have more time this year, so I want to focus on my health. And honestly, I got to get some of this weight off. I really do.
Mm.
I got to keep it snazzy. Now that I'm a stay at home mom, I got to keep it, right and tight, since I'm at the house all the time, got to keep
Oh.
it cute. And then, a major one is spending more time with my family. And that's one of the reasons why we moved back to my hometown. So, I want to focus more on making time to spend with them. And then spending more time with Nana. So, taking advantage of being present
Mhm.
in her life, at least for the time that I can deal with this. So those are my main resolutions. So getting the health together and really, being present with my family members. So what
Yeah.
about you? What's on your list?
So normally don't necessarily make resolutions. I do a vision board. But this year, if you've been following my blog, you know that I have abandoned all of that. And we have one focus this year, and that is trying. And that
Mm,
the effort around trying is the success, not the actual outcome of the activity that we're trying.
I love it.
And so this is the year of the try. I've got a nice little cute logo. I have a little page devoted to it. And I regularly post kind of our tries of the day when we have them on Facebook and Twitter. And, so far we're what, like, I guess 2/3, 3/4 of the way or something. I don't know, whatever fraction it is. We're mostly through January.
Almost through. Okay,
Math
yeah.
matters, right? Math matters. But we've tried quite a bit, and I'm finding that just focusing on the try is helping Hope build some confidence in just trying. Because a lot of times she doesn't want to try, or she believes that if something happens badly once, then there's no need to try again, because she already knows the outcome. And so we try things together, we try things separately, and she is already tired of hearing me say, "I'm sorry, what is our motto? What what is our motto? It's the year of the try. What? Say it with me, try." And she's already like, ugh. So we've got what, 49 weeks of this left.
Oh, try. I love
But
it though. That's a
yeah, but I
great
am
motto.
convinced. I am convinced by the end of next month that we will be different and better because it is the year of the try, and that she's really going to buy into it. And like I said, we've got logos, we've got jewelry. I'm posting stuff in her room, and yeah, we have necklaces that say "Just Try."
Awesome. Awesome.
So yeah, so no other specific kind of, like, none of that. I'm not, just like last year I said it, I'm not giving up sugar. No. I knew like you, I'm feeling rather fluffy at the moment and probably could stand to lose a bit of my winter uh, you know,
Is this the
coat.
hibernation weight?
My winter coat. Um, but I am on my doing my Fitbit challenges, and Hope is also accompanying me to the gym occasionally, and I've talked about that on probably more on Facebook too. And so we're just we eat more vegetarian at the house now.
Mm.
She said she wanted to be a vegetarian, and I ran with it. She lasted about 2 weeks, but I changed our Hello Fresh box to the veggie box, and it actually is really good. So we're doing all right. We're good.
So
We're
you
trying.
still doing the Hello Fresh thing?
Yes, I am doing HelloFresh, and it is marvelous because despite the fact that a 30-minute recipe can take like an hour and a half for Hope to do, she will do them. Like, she cooked dinner tonight, and it took her a long time, but boy, it's hard to mess up the recipes. And two, the excitement and accomplishment that she feels when she has plated a beautiful dish
Ooh.
and put it on the table, and she did it all herself while I laid on the couch and watched Judge Judy. I'm with that life. I am about it. I am here for it. And that just means that I need to stow away snacks on the days that she cooks, because it is a long wait.
Oh, I just feel like this is something for us to aspire to. I cannot wait till Nana gets to be 12 and I can just sit on the couch and watch Judge
Yeah.
Judy too. I love it.
Look, 6 months ago, like, I had to do them all myself, but
That is true. I do remember that. Yes.
she is really, this try thing has really got her stepping out. And for me, that again, just the willingness to try is the success. So
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So how did we do for last year? Let me see. Uh, Mimi
Let's
has
start.
kindly.
Yeah, ignore
Um,
this part up here.
okay. I was going. Okay, so we're going through this list
Hmm.
here. Okay, so the first one was home cooked meals. So Mimi said that she was going to replace Wood's hubby's cooking with hers, leave work at 4:30 p.m. and be home to eat with the family more often. Well, I'm assuming that a lot of that is resolved in
Yes,
2016.
it is. Okay, so if we look at what I did in 2015, that was an epic fail, you know. Uh, but I fixed that problem. So now I cook every day, which
So the universe just wasn't ready for you in
it wasn't,
2015.
it
It
just
just
had to
wasn't ready.
like it put the seed, it planted the seed in my mind, and said, I got something for you for that. you know. So wait, you got 4 times a week. That's what you said. You said
Yeah,
you were already kicking this one out the park. You said you were cooking four
yeah,
times a week. Anyway.
yeah. Yeah, so if we include the HelloFresh, I'm definitely cooking 4 times a week, sometimes five, but we have added, you know, we usually do eat out 3 days a week, and again, right now our challenge is trying places that we haven't been before. So like last week we went and had pho. So I think I held. And she took it for lunch. Do you know what like a high school student taking a jug of like
So
Vietnamese soup? She loved that dang soup.
really?
Like, she loved
Wow.
it. Loved it. Like when she said I'm taking it to school the next day, I was like, no, she's not. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she is like straight packing that to take to school. Wow, chopsticks and everything. It was amazing. So we're yeah, I'm still doing that one. I'm good with the home cooked meal situation.
Okay. So then we said no yelling, and you were like, that is not a resolution at all. But one of the things you did say is committing to more thought into how to keep things calm so you don't have to yell as much. How'd that go?
So the universe in 2015 was not quite ready for that. I'm a hothead and I'm really working on it. Like I said, I think that the attachment parenting and stepping out of my comfort zone in other ways has reduced the stress in the house, eliminating the need or reaction to yell. So um, that's a 2016 situation, but I started in 2015.
Well, good for you, girl, because I feel like this one, I'm going backwards because I don't know if I'm yelling, but I definitely fuss a lot. Not I guess the brunt of a lot of fussing. Because sometimes she just does stupid 4-year old things. And I have to like tell myself she's 4. So that's like stuff she's supposed to do. But in some way she seems older than 4. And so I'm like, shouldn't you know better than to do that? She just looks at me like, oh. So this is something I have to work on, especially since we are spending so much time together now.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
spending all day together. We're spending all day together. Hello, y'all. We are spending all day
Day
together.
together.
When she wakes up from the nap, it's like around 2. I'm like, oh, we got 6 hours to go. What are we gonna do? So yeah, I gotta work on that.
Well, that's a normal thing. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I realized as I got older how much she treasured like when we weren't around. And frankly, I appreciate it now. And just so that you don't feel bad, I have told a lie or like lied by omission today. Like they closed the schools, our local school district, around for tomorrow around noon, and I have still not told Hope. And she is out of screen time, so she has not been able to go on social media. So her friends have not blown my secret.
Oh, oh well. So
Chips
there you go.
whiskey.
Mhm. Hmm.
She'll know when I let her sleep late tomorrow.
Yes, she needs to know right now.
So and that's just so I have alone time later. But I think that that's a pretty normal thing that we need to deal with. So the next thing on our list was no sugar or eliminating sugar. Now, last year, Mimi, you said that Nana doesn't eat a lot of sugar except for grandparents. But now that y'all are with the fam, like, how did that work last year? And then, like, what's the current situation like?
So the rule is still when you are with grandparents, you can do whatever you want. But like I said, I was listening to the podcast again, and I said I have to drop Squatter when she comes back, which is exactly still what happened. Which is like, I know that's what you did over your grandparents' house, but you are at home, so she still is not a big sugar eater at home. We don't even have a lot of sugar snacks here, so she eats a lot of fruit, a lot of she might get some fruit snacks, but we don't have a lot of candy. She doesn't get a lot of candy, a lot of cakes and things like that. So it's still the same.
Okay.
Grandparent, my mother is not. See, it's Wood's mother. That is the sugar devil. It's
I was just gonna say the problem, but you didn't label her the sugar devil.
okay.
Dang.
Let's not use the word devil. She is the sugar. I don't know what we're gonna call her.
Guilty party.
Yes, she is the one. My mother, does not, she's kind of like me. You can have some fruit snacks if you want. You can have some oranges, So luckily we don't have to deal with that on a daily basis. Now my sister, she can do whatever she wants to. So, we just kind of when you over there, you can do what you want. When you come back home, you have to follow the rules at home. So we just kind of work it like that. Let's not stress. I don't want to stress myself out about what you're eating at somebody else's house.
Hmm.
That's not fair to the other people who are generously taking you off our hands. So
So, listeners, next year when we listen to this podcast, I think Mimi needs to make a resolution about, like, having some quality grown up time.
that is
Because
why
that
we
sounds like,
moved here.
because
That's
that
why we
sounds like Nana is wearing her out.
Man, my mother came over the other day after her birthday party and she was like, she called me the next day, we'll take Nana for the weekend if you really need us to. I said, Ma, I don't want you to feel, like you have to, but I guess I looked like I was done after that birthday party. She was like, we'll take her for the weekend. I was like, yes, that's why I moved. So, yeah.
Oh man. So, well, I made no commitment to no sugar, like no, none. So we were successful at that.
Yes, that is a win. That's a good way to win.
We were successful at that because I made no commitment to it. I will say that at certain periods of the year, it seems like we certainly consume less, and she is eating a lot more fruit. And the more confident that she gets in the kitchen, I'm hopeful that she will continue to eat less junk and eat more real food. So there's
So
that.
wait a minute. When we say these resolutions are for our kids, right? They're parenting, not for us. Like
Uh,
I didn't say that I don't
oh
eat
yeah, I succeeded in that one too. So
because
because I made no
I
commitment to
did
reduce
not
sugar.
include myself. As you see, this wine, this is sugar. If you didn't know, wine is sugar. So
I probably still have you beat because I have honey infused whiskey.
which I need to try. Thank you for putting that on my list. Thank you.
You do.
Mhm.
Anyway, so I didn't make a commitment to myself to reduce sugar. Um, and again, like her, I go through cycles. Probably more when I'm stressed and I'm like I really need some sugar. Like for example, snowstorm. We have a wide array of carbs in the house, and you
That
know
doesn't
what? I
count.
could.
It doesn't
Well,
count. It doesn't count.
yeah, it does. You know
Vegans
why
don't
it
count.
counts? Because on Monday when I dig out, and I've been enjoying yoga pants with no yoga all weekend, and I try to put on some real clothes to go back to work, there will be a reckoning.
I just say snowstorms don't count, weekends don't count, after 7 doesn't
There will,
count.
there will be a reckoning when something is like, oh no, this is not the right size. So anyway, but yeah, I didn't make a commitment to that last year, and I'm not making a commitment to that this year either. So yeah, yeah.
So limiting the screen time. So last year, we said Nana just watches old TV shows like Amen and what other show did she
Which
watch?
I
What's
got
that?
her on like Centric.
Pretty much. So now, since we have downsized our life, we don't have cable. And so we watch a lot of Bounce TV. And one of the main things on Bounce TV is the Bernie Mac show.
Oh my
So the
God.
other day she was like, Uncle Bernie. And I was like, you don't have an Uncle Bernie? But,
Mm-mm.
you know, that's Bernie Mac's character. So those are the type of TV shows she gets to watch.
Oh my.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All
And
right.
now that we're homeschooling, you know, we watch like some
Um,
educational videos. So she
Additional
gets to
stuff.
watch a little, you know.
Okay.
We're
Cool.
kind of strict. Now that I think about it, I'm like, you
Yeah,
don't get to
it's
do
kind of
anything.
strict, right?
Oh
So,
well.
I don't know if you have like Chromecast, Apple TV, or like Fire TV. We have I treated our us to Fire the Fire Stick for Christmas, and tons and tons and tons of like little people educational like shows and stuff. So might
So
have
we
to
just
peep
got
that.
her an Amazon Fire, but I am
Hmm.
so okay. So this is the thing. She is addicted to technology when we
Hmm.
let her. So she always wants to touch your phone, touch your computer, touch everything, right? So we got her uh what is it called? The Fire thing.
Amazon Fire tablet, whatever it
Yes, the
is. Uh
tablet.
huh. Uh huh.
But I have not set it up because I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with all this like this not working and I don't want to touch it. I want to play this and just I don't want to deal with it yet. I'm building up to building my tolerance to have to deal with all these requests for using the
Mm.
tablet all day long. So maybe by the next
So
podcast.
yeah. Um, so I am the tech. I have. Let me make a confession. When it comes to this podcasting stuff, like, please know, tech wise, I basically show up and I still get it wrong. Like, like, that's my confession.
I don't know.
However, when
Quite
it
true.
comes to when it comes to like managing Hope's tech life, I am all over that. I am
Hmm.
about that life. We use technology to shut stuff down, add stuff, take away stuff. Like, oh, I don't need to take away charges and stuff. I can just shut down her remote stuff, like sitting right here. Do, shut down. Like, and she'll get a note saying I shut it down. And you know, when she moved here, she hated it. But it eliminates. I mean, clearly she's much older and can understand, but it eliminates all the fights. Like, we
Yeah.
just don't even fight about it. Like, you get a certain amount of time each day, and that's it. She just got her tablet back after losing it. I don't know, like 9 months ago.
Oh wow.
And well, part of it is that she had gotten in trouble, and part of it we had a conversation about overstimulation and impulsiveness, and so she has, you know, we're on a trial run now, but the software is on that too. She gets a certain amount of time on that, and when it's done, and she has different sets of apps on that one, so she can use and do different things on it. um, and when we go to the gym, she can take it, and I unlock certain things like Netflix for her to watch while we're at the gym, on the machines or something like that. But like on the way home, I'm locking that stuff back down.
Boop boop.
Like, don't think that you're gonna be in your room like watching anything but YouTube videos. And so, you know, technology is your friend. You just need to find whatever tools it is that Amazon has to, like, you know, say, sorry, honey.
We have the kids' tablet, but that what I know about Nana is that's not gonna stop her for asking. You can be like, "Well, your hour is up or your half hour, whatever it is up." She's just gonna be like 5 minutes later. She's only 4, so
Yeah.
that does not
Yeah.
stay in her mind. Can I play on my tablet again? You'd be like,
Can I get
why did
another
I
hour?
why did I even start this? So I'm just making sure my skin is thick enough to be patient and
Mm.
loving with my responses.
Well, if people have any suggestions for
Oh,
how
I
to
would love it.
tech manage a 4-year-old, because I don't, that's not my wheelhouse, so I don't
Yeah.
have anything. So if you have suggestions on how to tech manage a 4-year-old, like hit us up on
Yes.
Twitter or
Yes,
email or
please do.
something to kind of help us sister out. So let's see what was next on date night. So last year I had this one, I guess in 2014, I had this down. I failed miserably at maintaining that in 2015.
What?
Yeah, like band season is a total, I don't know if she's eavesdropping. Awesome. Drag. Band season is awesome. In case she hears me, it's a drag if she can't. So,
Awful.
it's like, um, so it was just a bit tough. But uh, she has met. She has Hope and Elihu has met in the last few months, and so we are forging new relationships there. And I think that the comfort level is increased for me to really be out and about and with my boo a bit more. And oh, the other thing is Elihu and I always say, so we've been going to, Hope and I have been going to the Unitarian church pretty much since we left our old church, and the Unitarian and Leandra Hope loves the Unitarians, and they have lots of kid activities, and kid activities happens on Saturday nights, and so Elihu and I say we love the Unitarians. There is a lock in 2 weeks. Hey.
Yes. Yes, you can go.
Party time starts
What
at
time does it?
6:05 p.m. We will drop her off at 6 p.m. and get the party started promptly at 6:05.
Hey, 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 hey. I'm not mad
Yes.
at you. Not
Yes.
mad at
So,
you.
yeah, so yeah. So how about you? Date
So,
night?
in the beginning of the year, we were doing really good. We found a babysitter and we were going out weekly. We were going dancing, which we really like to do, Chicago two step. And I think maybe about after 6 weeks or something, Nana just started falling out when we would leave. And because she still at that time wasn't as verbal as she is now, we were just worried. We were like, well, what is causing this? She used to love the babysitter and then she just fell out. So we, stopped going. And I remember talking to a counselor when I went to post adoption support, and she was like, look, you cannot let kids manipulate you into staying home all the time because what happens is they see that they can fall out. Um, and you'll stay home, then they'll just keep doing it. And oh, it's just such a hard situation because you already have a child that's been traumatized. You don't want to put them in another situation that may be traumatizing them more. Like you don't know what's happening with the sitter, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know if it's just manipulation,
Mm.
just kind of 3 year at the time she was 3. So 3-year old kind of manipulation to get her parents to stay home. You don't know. So I felt like we just stayed on the cautious side and didn't go out very much towards the second half of the year. But
Mm.
now we are with our family, and I have the best sister who um, is willing to take her for overnights. And I'm
Woo!
like, yes, yes, yes. Take
All
my
right.
mother took her for 4 days. We were able to go to New York at the beginning of
Oh
the
yeah.
year. And so I feel like we're gonna nip this one. And once, Martise once Wood starts working, then we'll get a little babysitter and we'll be able to like kind of move her around to different people.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, mom, you take her this week. Okay, sissy, take her this weekend. All right, we can get a babysitter this weekend. So, I think we might be able to work this out. This may.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I feel
All
like we're
right.
gonna have this going. We'll have this pretty good in 2016.
All right. Good deal. So, self-care and me time. So last year you said that this is one of my, I'm still jealous, the joy of marriage. You and Wood are able to give each other timeouts, um, and you needed to use it. You said last year that you need to use it to do something else besides lay in bed. I'm not sure why. Why do you need to use it to do something besides lay in bed? I find
because
that a perfectly acceptable use of that time.
because I wanted to use it for meeting with my friends and hanging out and doing fun things. Like laying in the bed is cool, but then after a while you start to feel like, am I depressed? Like, am I
Oh, okay.
sad? Maybe I'm laying in the bed because I'm sad, you
Mm,
know.
okay.
So that was more of my concern. Like I think I should be using it to get out more instead of just crawling in the bed and just laying there all day. So that was more of my concern. But we still have that down. We still provide timeouts for each other. So I love it.
Hmm.
It works out for us.
Okay. All right.
What about
Um,
you?
I'm getting better at it because Hope's confidence in general is increasing. So I'm finding that I can take a bit more free time for myself here and there. I'm also maintaining my telecommute schedule, which really just allows me 2 days a week where, I mean, I am working. Don't get me wrong, I am working. Like things at work have been crazy, but there's something really nice about just sitting in the workout clothes that I went to go work out in right after she went to school, and I'm working, and then I get to go to Costco at lunch or meet a friend for lunch who maybe work, closer out in the burbs. I get to see those friends who I don't get to see that often because we're all out in the they're out in the burbs while I'm downtown during the day. Um, I've been able to take better advantage of some of that time, and really also taking advantage of the fact that her confidence and feeling of stability have increased as well. So I would say I'm not where I want to be on that one, but it's certainly getting better. Certainly
Okay.
getting better. Yeah.
Okay. And it sounds like you still are going to the gym. So good.
I still am going to the gym. I mean, like, the gym. So I'm a Fitbit groupie, and the gym is seriously like less than 1,500 steps from my bed.
So you have no excuse.
So, and that includes that practically includes me getting dressed, and walking over there and putting my stuff in the locker room. Like, it is nowhere away from my house, nowhere away from my house. So I have absolutely no excuse. But I also, if it's not too bitterly cold like it's been this week, Yappy and I take long walks. I strap on my headlamp and I look all goofy, and I have on like my safety patrol vest, and like my neighbors are laughing at me, and I'm like, but you saw me leave, so if I don't come back,
You need to be sending something.
like, right, somebody needs to come look for me. But we go and take a mile or two walk at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and it might be
Wow.
dark and stuff, but we're not in dark places. We're like right on main roads, and on walking paths that are very well lit and everything, and very well traveled. And so, I'm trying to really make time for that. He settles down. The dog settles down. I settle down. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how we did last year. Oh, there's one more. So have we taken ourselves off of the parenting pedestals? Meaning, I guess, do we care less? Do we give less of a hoot about what other people think about our parenting?
I am so off the parenting pedestal at this point. And I think the good thing about this podcast is that we're able to share our wins, our triumphs and our fails. Um, but I think you do have to just be easy on yourself
Yeah.
when it comes to parenting, because you're just not going to get it all right. And you you just have to wake up and try again the next day. Like, I love your motto for this year, the year of the try, because that's the thing. You try, and then you might not do so well that day, but the next day you try again. So,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of how I feel about parenting. I just try not to be so hard on myself. Um, Especially now that I'm with Nana all the time. I'm not gonna get that right all the time. She's not gonna do it. So I just recognize that and move forward. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like I jumped off that pedestal this year, and I'm certainly better for it. I worried a lot, and I find every now and again I still get a little bit defensive about things that people don't understand about older child adoption and adoption involving kids who have maybe some special needs, which is our situation. And I'm finding the longer that we're together, which, oh my goodness, holy moly, tomorrow is our 2 year like placement anniversary.
Awesome.
Whoa, almost forgot. So but in these 2 years, probably each 6 months or so, I kind of get a little bit better insight into things that weren't in the records, or things that weren't documented, things that Hope struggles with that we need to tackle. And the more that she reveals is I really try to meet those needs. But what I found in this time is, especially in 2015, is I really don't have time to be like bothered. I have to be unbothered by people's opinions about um, how I parent her, because I have to be focused on meeting her immediate needs,
Right.
and I just can't give a hoot. I'd prefer to substitute that with many other words, but I just can't spend a lot of time. And someone texted me not that long ago talking about, oh, you don't have to do X, Y, and Z, and you really shouldn't do blah blah blah. And I just, my immediate reaction, my family knows I am like queen of the family clapback. I just like, but and I just said, thank you, I love you, all right, bye, whatever. I did marinate on it for a while, but I was just like, you know what, you don't know my life. Goodbye. just you just
Mm.
don't know my life. And it's yeah, you jump off the pedestal at some point. You just got to live and work through it.
Hmm. You do.
So
I
yeah,
like it. You just gotta
yeah,
live. You just gotta live. And
yeah,
everybody has some kind of issue with their parents. So, hey.
yeah. Is what is it? Is it Tony Horton that does the P90X, or is that, I think it's him.
Yep.
Anyway, look, when I used to work out hard like that,
Ooh.
but he has this saying like, do your best and forget the rest, and
Mhm.
that's it. That's all you can really do, because you're not parenting all them other people.
You're not. And I think the
So
challenge though is sometimes I'm not even doing my best sometimes. So I think just trying to focus on doing the best. Sometimes you phone it in.
well, yeah, but you know what?
During that
It's
6 hours,
okay.
that 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock time, I'm like, after school is over, I'm like, whew.
But it's okay because it's not every day, and that's real life. That's real. I mean, that's real talk right there. Like, there are just times when I look back now, and I vividly have memories of like moments where, like, back then we didn't have words like terms like side eye, and I just remember my parents looking at me like, "Would you please just go away? Like, would you please just sit your hind parts down somewhere?" And, like, it's real. It's real. And every parent goes through it. And so, we in the age of social media, when everybody's talking about how great their kids are and it's wonderful, we went to swim team and soccer team and band and blah blah, and my kid is so awesome. Like, nobody, like, people are not going to post like, oh my god, I just told my kid to, like, eat a bag of chips for dinner and go away. Like, nobody's posting that. We have to remember that social media is a carefully curated,
Mhm.
like, image of our lives, and it's not based really in true reality. It's just, nobody's posting the, hey, sure, you can have ho-hos for dinner because I didn't feel like cooking anything and it's too daggone cold for me to go out.
So you will be all right.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
So, all right. So those are our 2016 parenting resolution. If you have something interesting that you're doing for 2016, let us know. Send us a tweet, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. We were going to talk about Kenya more, but I think because of our time, maybe not this time. Maybe we can hold it to the next one. What do you think?
Yeah, holy moly, this time just rolls by,
I
doesn't
know
it?
we missed each other so much. We miss each other so much. So we're gonna put a pin in the Kenya Moore and the kinship adoption conversation. We're gonna come back to it. Maybe we can get
Yeah.
somebody to come on and talk about kinship adoption. So
Yes, yes.
so I think we
So,
can just roll on into the wind down. Then you want
yes.
to introduce the wind down?
Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about the hashtag Oscars So White through the lens of Jada Pinkett Smith. If you have not been under a rock in the last week, you know that Jada, who is married to actor Will Smith, called for an Oscar boycott after no actors or directors of color, including Will in his performance in Concussion, were nominated for the second year in a row. The failure to recognize artists of color comes up every year, though this year it started a little early when the Hollywood Reporter magazine featured a roundtable with actresses of no color and an article talking about how, like, it's unfortunate that they had no people of color in their roundtable. And they actually said, they bemoaned the fact that there were just no minority actresses in genuine contention for an Oscar this year. So there's, folks that are talking about boycotting. Apparently Spike Lee is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award this year for all of his work. But he said he's not going. Chris Rock, it's looking like might be the only brown face at the awards as its host this year. So, are you down for the boycott? I don't really watch the Oscars anyway.
Yeah, I don't watch the Oscars, but I do understand why this is a problem. One of the things I have a challenge with is people act like you can't talk about multiple issues at one time. So a lot of times people will be on Twitter and say, you shouldn't be talking about this. You should be talking about the Detroit water problem, or you should be talking about, Black Lives Matter. All of these things are intertwined in some way, right? Because it all talks about the lack of respect and acknowledgement of Black people's contributions and the lack of respect and acknowledgement of Black lives. So, regardless of whether the Oscars matter, we watch the Oscars, and why do we want to ask for other people's affirmation? I just feel like we're contribution we're contributing to the American um entertainment scene. We should be included in all of these things where you're acknowledging the best of the best. And so, um, as far as a boycott, I don't watch the Oscars, so but I can understand I can understand why people are upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, last year, Ava DuVernay she was shafted because she didn't get nominated for directing Selma, amazing film, and yet somehow the film was nominated for Best Picture, didn't win, but. I think that it's, especially since I work on issues professionally or related to diversity. I think it's an important point, especially since people of color in the United States are, as a block, not just African Americans, but people of color in general,
Yeah,
are
that's
the
true.
primary consumers of entertainment. It really does speak to these issues of where do we see ourselves? Where do our kids see themselves? Do we see ourselves in media? What do those portrayals look like? How are we acknowledged for our contributions to, entertainment? Which we can distill entertainment down to, oh, I had a good time, that movie was great, and everything. But, along with how civilizations treat women and kids, and do we have health care and all of these kinds of things, the arts are also markers of civilization. And so, the relative absence or lack of acknowledgement, and pretending that we're absent from the arts community is troubling. It's troubling. And Will, I guess, gave an interview this morning, and he said it best, that diversity is one of this country's great strengths, but we don't leverage it properly, and it's because of our baggage around it. But honestly, on Oscar night, I'm here for the dresses. And now
Nothing
that
else.
and with Joan Rivers gone last year, like I just don't watch it. I watched, the pregame show, and like the Oscars go on forever. Like it's like a 4-hour endeavor, and that's not even all of the awards. The tech awards are done some other time. Like I just don't care that much.
But it's important to the people who this is their life work, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Spike Lee was going to get an honorary Oscar this year. And so before this happened, I think he felt very honored by the fact that he was going to receive this,
Yeah,
for his body of work that he has put forth. And he most absolutely deserves it. So for the people who do this,
yeah,
and this is their life, and this is what they do, like for us who just go to work every day and whatever it is that we do, it doesn't matter that much, and we can have a conversation about what it does or not. But for the people who this is what they do every day, and this is how
yeah,
they make their money, and this is how they feed their family. The Oscars is a sense of achievement, but it also probably talks about their marketability
mm,
for other movies.
yeah,
It has an impact on their bottom line. And
yeah.
so I'm sure for them, you know
It's
for them
meaningful.
it's
It's
meaningful.
meaningful, and it really is. It also has. It does have an economic impact on their careers.
Hmm. And
So
so the other thing is, so what Jada says in her speeches, should we take our money and our dollars and bring them back into our community and focus our monies more on that? And I'm not sure. I don't oppose that. I think we should support our own communities and our own type of award shows and things like that, instead of kind of looking at them as a joke, or looking at them as it's good but it's not good enough. But I don't think that that should take away from the fact that we should still be getting Oscars also. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's the contributions to the arts should be considered broadly. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't also support for us, maybe specifically African American artists, directors, actors, and all of that. But I guess two things. One, those people, we shouldn't have to have all of these other kinds of awards, like the BET Awards and the NAACP Image Awards and all of these kinds of things, because we don't get acknowledged in those other broader spaces.
Right.
It's nice to have those things too, but ultimately we want to be acknowledged more broadly. The flip side of that for me, or I guess part two, not necessarily the flip side, but the part two of that is, let's make sure that we continue to put out quality programming. Because if spending our money in our own community means that we continue to get crappy Tyler Perry movies, I'm going to continue to be pissed.
Well,
Don't get me wrong. I like Tyler. Like, I mean, he's good for a good, like, let me go ahead and watch this movie about this poor woman who needs
it's
to find a good
mindless
Christian man.
entertainment.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
is.
kind of like, okay,
But
I can wash the dishes and watch this
you know,
movie, you know? So,
but the my inner feminist like skin crawls a little bit every time I watch a Perry movie. But that's just me. I just need a diversity of products also to spend my money on, as well within the community in terms of the spectrum of quality.
I
So
think the interesting part is that the president of the academy is a black lady.
yeah,
And so I'm interested to see. I know she's made a speech about her not feeling comfortable with the outcome. And I'm like, but couldn't y'all put this back to, like what authority do you have? Like when the votes came in, you couldn't be like, well, let me look at this again. Like what, like
yeah.
why all of a sudden you upset now versus at the beginning of the situation?
Well,
So
I'm also gonna blame her PR people because like they should have had her ready and prepped long before, like before the announcements even came out, like before Jada got hot and bothered, like the day before the announcements of the award, the nominees came out. That's, I mean, for me, that's what I like. It is my job to make sure that my boss is prepared to meet the media on questions related to my sphere of influence, right? So when I saw the interview of her and she was basically like, humana, humana, I don't know why there's no black people, humana, 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 humana. Like, it was bad. And I just kind of was like, oh, sister girl, like, you were not ready for that question. Why were you not ready for that question? Of
well,
all
why didn't
people,
you
why were you
ask
not ready for that
yeah,
question?
why didn't you ask the question yourself and
Right.
do a little bit of research your own self and try
Yeah.
to understand what the issue was and what accountability and what ability did you have to influence any of that before
Any
it
of that.
happened, right?
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, so the part two of all of this, of course, is Janet Hubert, who was the original Aunt Vivian on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air before basically, she got kicked to the curb and replaced. Well, she posted a video response to Jada's call for the boycott
in her kitchen.
in her kitchen,
Go ahead, Jenna.
introducing herself as Blacktress Janet Hubert.
She sure did.
Which I found interesting because to me it echoed the point that Jada was trying to make, but whatever. She boiled down. She argued that there are more important things in the world to worry about, which just made me kind of harken back to Marvin Gaye's "Mercy, Mercy Me," and there's just so much going on. Don't we have more important things to talk about? And
But
then
that
she
irritates me
interspersed that.
when I hate when people say that. Yes, there are lots of
Yeah,
things to be talking about. We can talk about all of these things, at the same. I mean, we can sequentially. I mean, we can talk about all these things. It just irritates me. Like you can only talk about this one particular thing, whatever your particular pet
yeah,
issue is at the time. But continue on.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it just negates this notion that we're multidimensional with multiple capabilities and capacities to like think and be caring about multiple things at the same time. However, what like people found most intriguing was how she like lodged all kinds of personal petty attacks because she is still like there was like
She's still mad.
20 years of salt.
Still mad. Hashtag still mad.
Like it was like if you take all of the salt oceans and seas of the world with the Red Sea like being the Dead Sea at the top of the list, there still wasn't enough salt.
But I will say this. she's not wrong.
She's not wrong,
She's not
but
wrong
like all of
because it's
all.
because one of her points was, so you mad now because your husband was
Oh
not
yeah,
nominated?
nominated.
Which,
Right,
of course, you're supposed to be mad because your husband wasn't nominated, but
nominated.
still, she's like, well, you could have been mad last year.
Right,
You were cool with the Golden Globes. You
right.
were cool or whatever other award season. So her point. She's not wrong,
She's
but
not wrong.
she's not wrong, but she's not right.
It
Okay.
was just dragged down by a bunch of petty.
Yes, she was. She was. I mean, her point was lost and all that, but you know what? She had me laughing the whole video, and I was like, "Wow, she is still angry about
She
this.
is going in when she says she doesn't give a kitty. Ah, man, that was so funny.
What is going on with Miss Janet Hubert? She just seems like
She came across as a bit unhinged.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, what does she? Is she still working? Is she still a working actress?
I don't know, but she posted it. She posted, I think, on Monday, which also happened to be her birthday. And she turned 60, and yeah, the
She's
internet
older.
memes
So that means
promptly.
when you older, seasoned, you can say what you want to. you know, it's like
But
your
it's
grandma.
so funny. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because as I get older, I'm like, oh man, 60 isn't that old now. But I guess when you live 60, hey, I'm just keeping it real. As I get older, I'm like, man, 70 is the new 30. Like, like, I'm
70
only
is the new.
15. And
Did you see
I'm
the
like,
video of Tina Turner
yes,
dancing at 76? Did you see her walking in with her legs? I was like, my legs
yes,
have never looked like that ever in my
never, ever,
life.
ever. So yeah, I'm like, I'll just be like, I'm 15 in dog years or something stupid. I don't know, but um, so but she just, man, she just came across as so petty and salty. I was here for it though, because I mean, it was good
I mean,
entertainment. She wasn't wrong, but boy, her messaging got dragged down by just so much
she wasn't
foolery.
wrong, but she was not right. So that's
No.
that's really what it all boiled down to.
At any rate, but check out Aunt Viv's, the original Aunt Viv's.
We will post links to both Jada and Aunt Viv's message on the blog at
And you can get your life. And
addwaterandstirpodcast.com.
yeah, you can get your life as she like tries to break girlfriend down.
Yes, she did.
Girlfriend. Anyway, so as we start to wrap things up, we do have a little bit of listener feedback. Whoop whoop.
Whoop. Hey,
So
listeners.
hey, so we got an email from Erica McBee, and she said she found Adoptive Black Mom over the Christmas holiday, and as of today, and she found the podcast at the same time. As of today, which was I guess yesterday, she was on episode 33. So clearly, she is anxiously awaiting this episode that we are currently
So I'm
recording.
glad we're posting for you, Erica.
She's enjoyed the show immensely. I sometimes had to cover my mouth to suppress my giggles while listening via my headphones. The chemistry you and Mimi have is great. Listening to the past episodes has been empowering. So when is the next scheduled episode? We're coming. We're here. So she desperately searched for single African American women who had adopted and finally put in the right words, and booyah, the entire world was revealed. So she is shouting us out from Detroit. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the feedback. If you have feedback, please drop us an email, or tweet us, or leave us 5-star reviews on the podcast application of your choice, especially iTunes.
All right.
Woo-hoo.
So thank you, Erica. I hope you
Yeah.
continue to listen with us, share it with your friends and everybody.
Right.
So, any recommendations?
Yes. So Mimi got me hooked all up on these podcasts when we started this shindig, and now like Hope is like, oh my God, do we ever listen to the radio on road trips anymore? And I'm like, no, we don't. So We Hope and I are currently listening to season 2 of Serial, which focuses on Private Bergdahl, who was held in captivity in Afghanistan. Well, actually, he was in, I guess, Pakistan, but held by the Taliban for about 5 years. And it is really great for us, something great that we're doing together. We're listening to it together. It's really awesome. And I am teaching her, using it to teach her about the ramifications of dumb decisions. Because basically, this young military guy like makes his decision thinking that he's going to be the next Jason Bourne, and it clearly all goes wrong for him in a really bad way. But not just for him, it spent a lot of resources trying to find him. People died, and equipment was damaged and destroyed. I mean, it just had a huge cascading effect. And so I've been using it to teach Hope about the butterfly effect, and when you make a decision, it really doesn't necessarily just impact you. It impacts everyone around you, and it has it can just ripple out much farther than you might think. So that's my first recommendation. And the second one is another podcast that I stumbled upon recently called Love and Radio. If you don't have time to listen to one story over a whole bunch of weeks, Love and Radio is a really cool little podcast that tells you one story per podcast. And it's fun. Sometimes they're love stories. Sometimes they're stories about war. Sometimes they're stories about tragic accidents and how people lived and got through those experiences. It's just something that I've just recently stumbled upon and started listening to, and am deeply enjoying it. So those are my 2 recommendations for the week. What about you?
Awesome. Awesome. I love podcasts. I love podcasts. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, Nana has to listen to podcasts on the car, and sometimes she's like, "I'd like to listen to the radio, please." So anyway, so now that I am homeschooling Nana, and we are doing pre-K, even though she doesn't officially begin pre-K until August, we're going to we're starting. And so I'm doing a letter of the week curriculum, which I got from confessionsofahomeschooler.com. And so she has very great materials, printables there. I even got me a lamination machine, so I
Ooh,
laminate things in the house. Look at me. And so,
wow.
you know, and education.com also has good printables. So it's not just for preschool, it's for all different ages. So if you either are homeschooling, or you just want to supplement your child's work at school, those are 2 websites that you can go to and get worksheets or activities that you can do with your child to kind of help supplement their work. So I'm really enjoying that. Yep.
Fantastic. Awesome. Very cool.
All
Very
right,
cool.
well,
Alrighty. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Add Water and Stir. You can find all of the show notes at addwaterandstirpodcast.com, and you can subscribe to us and leave us ratings, 5-star ratings, through iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. We absolutely love to engage with our audience, so please tweet us, email us, leave those ratings. You can tweet us at AWAS Pod. That's AWASPOD on Twitter, and we will certainly hit you back. So, in the meantime, Mimi, where can they find you in the streets?
you can find me on Twitter at Mimi Complex, or you can read archives of my blog at Complicated Melody. That's Melody with an I, so it's complicatedmelody.com. And what about you? Where can they find you?
You can find me at the blog AdoptiveBlackMom.com, Facebook and Twitter, all the same name. I certainly do hang out on Facebook and Twitter a little bit more these days, and as I'm not quite writing as frequently as I used to, but I certainly love to engage, and I'm always kind of posting dumb stuff, cute videos. Yet today I posted a cool video of when your dog thinks your kid is a car, and right.
I did see that.
Dappy is riding Hope as she is like, crab walking or whatever it is she's doing down the hall, and he seems quite unbothered by his chariot. So, so definitely check me out there.
All right.
So, we will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.